Hey, what's up, everyone? I've got a quick video for you here to discuss something that I find to be it's just beyond coincidental. I feel as though they got all of the information that they wanted out of Jeffrey Epstein, and someone offed him. Someone got rid of him. Someone got rid of him before he could share any information on the Dems. And all of those dim-witted Democratic people who are continuously spitting their rhetoric nonstop. Now, here's the thing. There's good and bad on both sides. If you support Republicans, fine. If you support Democrats, fine. If you're undecided, fine. If you're whatever the heck you are, whatever. It's fine. It's fine with me. I'm not making a big deal out of that. But I find it very wrong that very unusual, too perfect on their part to be coincidental, that Jeffrey Epstein just comes up dead after they get all the information they needed for the Republicans. They got information from certain Republicans and certain Republican parties, but he had information on Pelosi. He said he had information on Nancy Pelosi. He had information on Elizabeth Warren. He claimed he had information on this administration, the previous administration. He had information on President Obama he was going to release. Hillary Clinton that he was going to release. And what happens when they get the information on a few Republicans? He dies in prison, where he was supposed to be heavily watched, heavily guarded. He was supposed to be on suicide watch because they claimed he was suicidal back in late July. So they were supposed to keep a watchful eye on him. They were supposed to keep their eyes watching him at all times because of the potential of suicide. What happens today? After they said, oh man, we were going to ask him more questions. Yeah, I think someone had him killed. And they had him killed just like they did Antonin Scalia. Scalia died. He was killed during the Obama administration. And Scalia had a pillow put over his head and was smothered to death. A Republican, a conservative, and that wasn't being supported during that time and still isn't. And that particular point of view that Scalia had at the time wasn't being supported. So they wanted to replace him right away, but they didn't get to. And and he was killed. Scalia was killed, and I think Jeffrey Epstein was killed. From what I hear, he had all kinds of underage girls and children, and he'd forced them into these parties and sex trafficking and just all kinds of things, and drug trafficking, sex trafficking, multiple parties, and he hosted these orgy parties and things like that, but a lot of them were also children there and young people that he had illegally. He had, without any consent, he had forced them into this life, and he had forced a lot of young people into it, and they said he was a huge sex trafficking ring he was the head of, and all kinds of things that he funded their sex parties, just like the CIA did, their lavish parties during the Obama administration. He knew about it, but the CIA was still having lavish parties. But when the information leaked to WikiLeaks, they had to do something about it, and they did a little something on it. They got a pat on the back. They kind of got just a slap on the wrist, and then they let them back to doing the same things that they always did. And this stuff has been going on for centuries. These lavish leaders, these big-time leaders have been hosting these types of things for centuries. But this stuff's coming to the light. But here's the thing. I think they're only making certain things come to the light so they can find things on this particular administration and try their best to keep him from succeeding. That's what they want to do, or find any reason to impeach or remove him from office. Even though Clinton did a lot of sexual activity, not only outside but inside the Oval Office itself, and he did all kinds of things. I mean, look at Monica Lewinsky and the many other women that Clinton had been with. They knew about it. They claimed that they impeached him, but they didn't really impeach him. They legally documented that they impeached him, but he was still in office and still a sitting president. And they said, "Oh, you can't put a sitting president in jail. It's under the Constitution." All kinds of things like that. But he had information. Jeffrey Epstein had information on the Democrats, and he was about to release information about the Democrats. And I think all information should be released. The truth should come to the light. But it's not going to. He was getting way too close. If you notice that Nancy Pelosi, Elizabeth Warren, they were a little bit afraid to state anything after they found out that he knew information about them. He knew detailed information that they were at these lavish parties, that he had things on them. He had things on Obama and his administration, Biden, all of them. But they'll never get to release that, and they know it. And they knew that the only way to get rid of that was to, since they already had the claim out that he was suicidal, well, that was an easy target for them to be able to just, it could be, maybe not, but I really don't. I suspect foul play. And he could have released a lot of information on the Democrats. And you think they're going to allow that to happen? If someone has information against them, they're going to off them. They're going to get rid of them. They're going to do it by any means possible. They're going to keep that information from being seen by the general public. And that's just the way it is. So, give your thoughts on this. Sorry I went political for this video. I didn't mean to go into any political rhetoric or state any type of points of view and I don't want anyone to think that I'm spouting some kind of a hate on any particular type. If you're Democrat, if you're Republican, if you're undecided, if you're anything in between, and cha-cha and hoopla, I don't care. I don't care. It's all whatever you are, so be it. Unless you're an extremist or filled with hate or some sort of supremacist or whatever. If you're that, then I'm not going to discuss that. Someone was trying to state things from other countries and state that I said that I love everyone. What about the terrorists and things like that? And they were mentioning in the name of Allah. I'm not going to do. No. I'm not going to. I'm not. I'm not down with that. I'm not going to be G'ing with that. Anything that has to do with that kind of activity or that kind of thing, I'm not going to have anything to do with that. My channel, I just try to expose. I try to expose, and you see a lot of things. In spite of what they're trying to do, a lot of people are still trying to speak their voice out there and see the truth. But truther channels are being held back. You could be talking about anything supernatural. You could be talking about the news, the true news, not the fake stuff, not the fake news, the true news that's going on. President Trump did not create the term he gave people a voice. He gave the ones that were trying to tell the truth a voice. He gave a voice to the voiceless and gave them an opportunity to speak. Now, the FCC and other groups, they want to stop the freedom of speech on the internet. You can have freedom of speech and expression as long as it fits the current agenda. If it doesn't fit the agenda, then they don't want you to have your freedom of speech and expression. But that's the problem, and that's really sad, but it's true. But I think he was killed. I really think he was killed so that he could not release information on the Democrats. They said they were going to ask him more questions about the Democrats. And what happens? He ends up dead. Just like Antonin Scalia, because he was conservative. He was Republican. He was murdered during the previous administration. He didn't just die with a pillow over his head and smothered to death by accident. He was murdered. And it happens all the time. Like the president said, you think there's not blood on our hands? You think this nation's so clean? You think its government's so clean? The people ahead? No. And I want everyone to get along. I really do. But I feel that the truth needs to be exposed when I see it. And I just don't. I got this news like an hour or two ago, and I thought, yep. I knew it. They were going to murder him. They murdered him. And that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it for now. Peace, much love. Give your thoughts on this. Something fishy going on. Something fishy is going on. I know I'll say it right eventually, but anyway, peace, much love. Give your thoughts on all of this. My link's below. I can't do this without you all. I can't, because without you all, I have no, I'm nothing without the subscribers and the donators and the commenters and everyone who follows, watches the videos, likes, all of that stuff. Nothing without you. The channel is nothing without you. Can't grow without you. So spread this information. Spread the truth with others. And this is not coincidence, in my opinion. Because if they were really watching him, he would not have been able to do that. I don't think he did. Anyway, peace, much love. My link's below if you'd like to leave a donation to show your support and love. And you can also email me. Peace. I'm out.